So guys, the thing with this one is we do the same opening process every single time, okay? We set the telescopic cover in back, we set the inner cover up to the front. Just teach them to do that. Every time you work the hive, the telescopic cover in the back is where we're gonna set our second box when we put it on. So today, I expect we're gonna see this hive had 2 brood and 4 bees in it when we last checked it on 4/27. Okay, so it packages 4 frames of bees, should be pretty consistent. We might luck out and see something hatch today to show them, but we'll just have to see how it goes. Don't, on a day like this or any other day, smoke them as you open them. So we smoke the front entrance, we smoke the hole in the inner cover. Please check the inner cover for a queen. Show them to do that. So twice this week I found the queen running around on the inner cover of my own hives, and Jim and Ted found one running on the inner cover last weekend. So we kind of want to make sure that they don't lose sight of their queen that way. And we have found them running around on the feeder, on the top of the feeder, and we found one running on the top bar. I mean, instead of down below. So in the last couple weeks. Now remember, we're always going, the bees, we know right now, looking at all these hives already, the feeder and 4 frames of bees is what's there. Take your outside frame out and work your way that way. And today we want them to see eggs. So when you look, just kind of look over their shoulder, and if somebody's got a good frame of eggs and larvae, hand it to them and let them, everybody look at it and say, hey, don't pass the frame on till you see it. As soon as they've all looked at it, stick it back in there where they'll stay warm. It'll be all right to be out 2 or 3 minutes today. There'll be plenty of bees covering the open brood. The other thing to show them today is the difference between open brood and closed brood. So cap brood has just a smattering of bees on it. The open brood will have a large amount of bees covering it up to keep it warm. Okay, so just keep that in mind so they can get an idea. If you looked at these when it was 80 degrees out, you'd think you had 8 frames of bees. But on a day like today, you'll know you only have 4 frames of bees. Now, the other thing to talk to them about is, as they go into next week, remember, 1 frame most likely is going to hatch out. That's going to give them between 3,000 and 6,000 more bees, okay? That means the cluster is now going to really be 5-6 frames of bees, okay? So nobody is ready to put a second box on a package, I promise you. And I've looked at them with drawn comb, and they're doing the same thing here. The only thing I see between these and the drawn comb is more brood. More brood. I'm averaging 3 frames of cap brood and 1 of eggs and larvae on my packages I put out on drawn comb. Because the first day, 24 hours later, I had a patch of eggs like this, you know. So she went to town real fast. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. What's that? No. Squeeze up and watch. They'll be gentle. Jim's going to gently smoke them instead of gas them to death. Now, just so you know, Jim sometimes has a hard time seeing. What? He'll say, I think there's brood on there. Hand it to me. He's got his glasses on today.
Go,
we might luck
just
out.
Get going.
Okay, ready, Larry?
Yep, I'm ready. Let's go.
And we got sound?
We better have sound.
We're going to tease Larry for a while about sound.
Man, that was
okay, we're going to smoke the front of the hive a little bit. There's 1 or 2 bees playing around there. We're going to take the telescopic cover off. He's going to smoke in there because there's a few bees hanging around. And today, instructors, when we're done, we want to make sure that this inner cover is pushed all the way back, or Jim and Larry, when they load them on Ted's truck, are going to eat a lot of bees. Okay, so we're smoking. Gonna lay this in front. I got it.
Let's look at it first.
Yep. Look at that, no queen. They'll walk right off of there and start going in. So, yeah, so now you can see the cluster of bees right here, and you can see the drawn comb. So we're going to take this frame out right here. Okay, so we got plenty of room. Nothing going on. Set it right like that. Now he's going to look at the second one. Nothing going on. You can see, oh, let's pull that out and look at it real quick. So one side here, they're starting to draw the comb out, which is excellent. Any nectar stored in there at all?
Yes.
So they're already storing nectar. At my house, they're getting lots of nectar until this cold snap hit. So we got drawn comb there. Look at this one, beautiful. Now, that should be all egg. Now look at what you can tell. You know there's eggs and larvae in there. Look what they did. Honey here, and it's drawn out fatter, and you got a ton of bees in there. You got eggs and larvae in there?
Yes.
Yep. Let's look at the other side. Now,
There's the queen.
There she is. Where?
Right up there.
They've almost eaten the
Yep,
red
right
dot
here.
off her.
Yeah. Boy, they like those red dots. So, and if you look at this queen, we've been looking at it every week. Look at how she is striped like that. That is mostly Caucasian. This hive will propolis up like no tomorrow. So we know where the queen is. Put her back in. And open brood again. And you can tell it's open brood again, like there's honey on the corners and stuff. This hive has got plenty of food. And what do we got there?
All larvae.
All larvae. So advanced stages of larvae. So that'd be a good frame to show your students because they can see the size of the larva. Now we should hit cap brood.
Yep.
Look at that. Okay. And we got stores in the corner, which is what we want to see. Okay, Jim, let's go back to that other frame for a minute and let Larry get a real close-up of the larva there. You can see most of that is capped. So we released the queen right there. We know where she still is. Okay, pull this one up and let him see a good picture of that cap, that larva. Okay.
Oh yeah, we got it.
And that's what you want to. You want to pick a good frame for them to look at, and you can think of it as being frame number 3 normally. Okay. No need to take the feeder out. Now, there'll probably be cap brood there, but you'll see more honey on this frame. Look at how far over there they are, and right here. See all that cap brood? Okay, she's doing beautiful. We've got basically 2 frames of cap brood. One of these is going to start hatching out. Well, I should say a frame and a half. This here is all being put into honey, which is pretty normal. And you notice they're just drawing it out as they need it. We have pollen stores on every one of these frames if you look. Okay? All right. We've done everything. We're going to close it up just like that. And put that back in. And push it all toward the feeder. And
Now, before you close it, how do you want us to write up? Number of bees, frames of bees?
well, we know there's only 4 frames of bees
Oh, I
in
knew
there,
that,
period.
yeah.
Okay? So you've got about 3 frames of a brood in there.
Okay.
Actually, about 2.5. Okay?
Are we going to write that on the cover?
Yep.
Or are we just
We
gonna
write it on the cover and use today's date. 2 brood, 4 bees right there. And we did see the queen, so we usually mark that we saw the queen. Okay?
You want that top lid pushed back to
Yeah.
This way.
that way.
Yeah,
This
push
way.
it this way. Tonight when we come in there, we'll push those forward or to the back to... We got a bunch of new instructors, but we've got 11 hives here. Want you to kind of divide up evenly. They're not... If we use our smoke like we're supposed to, and they will, you'll find the bees are very, very gentle. They're staying pretty tight on the comb. Now remember, So most of you started with a package. You started with the nuke. You probably have a few more bees, but you started with a package. There's technically 4 frames of bees in there. Okay, starting today, we might see a hatch out. The hive we just went through, we didn't see it. Okay, but somebody around here will have maybe 1 or 2. But tomorrow they should start hatching seriously. And then through the week, you should probably have an addition to your hive of 3 to 6,000. Okay, that's basically an extra frame of bees. And so next weekend when you go in, you would expect to see 5 full frames in it. Today, when we looked at the hive that we've been videoing every week, if you look at that hive, they're working on frame number 5. Frame number 1 is got honey on one side and brood on the other side. Frame number 2 is from the feeder, is got cap brood on it. Frame number 3 and 4 are eggs and larvae. Now remember, you know there's 6,000 cells on that frame. That's a lot for the queen to lay. That's a week's work for her, okay? And the brood is in different ages. She goes along and lays in the middle, and then she comes back and lays another inch around and stuff. So when you see your hatch out start next weekend, you're gonna go in there and you're gonna find the middle of your frame, one of them will be all hatched out. And you're saying, oh, well, they're all you don't need a second box because the queen's gonna come back in and lay through what hatched out, okay? And they'll keep drawing out coat, all right? So if you don't mind, divide up by yourselves. I'm not gonna try to count this off. So just go to a hive and make sure you kind of even it out, okay? And we'll get started.
Guess what? Nobody's good job. You got yours? Okay. All right, you wanted me to smoke?
Yep, little smoke in the front. Perfect. That's enough.
We want this to go in the back.
Yes, ma'am. And you're gonna lay. Yep,
Let me
you're
look,
gonna.
though.
And either way, so what you're gonna want to do is just lay it back here, because when you have a second box on, a second deep, that's gonna be the first box you pull off, and you're gonna set it right on that telescoping cover. That's why we put that in the back. Nothing, and that goes in the front.
Okay. See, I don't do all this with mine.
And the reason you put it in the front, you go
On the ground, like flat.
Yep, because
Okay.
a lot of times, especially when it's warm, this will be full of bees. And so by putting it in the front, they can just hike right back into the hive. That's what you want to do.
Okay.
It might not be what you do, but that's what you need to
No,
do.
well, this is why I'm
Right.
doing this.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
give me all
not.
the corrections.
Right. Nope. I'm not judging. I'm just showing that's how you want to do it, because when you put the inner cover on in the front, there's going to be a lot of bees, especially in the warmer weather. They're going to smell the pheromones inside, and they're just going to start walking right back into the hive.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so our feeder's empty,
Yep.
which is fine.
And then, leave the feeder.
Yeah, I'm gonna-
And then you're going to start with the outside frame, furthest away, and you're going to pull that frame out, and you're going to set it on the outside of the box. And that just gives
Like-
you room. Just set it right here.
Like this?
Yep.
Okay, all right, I got it.
Just like we do in the videos. And then you don't have to pull anything else out. You're going to look and see if they've drawn anything. Is there any new comb on that?
Nope. Well, that's nothing.
Nope. So just leave it right against the wall, and then pull that one out. I see fresh comb on that bad lad.
It's just, these hives are so beautiful and new compared to mine.
See how that's drawn out?
Yeah, that looks great.
So now look for the queen. See if she's anywhere on there. See if they've got any eggs in there yet.
I don't see a queen. Is she marked?
Yeah, she's
Oh,
marked.
oh, there she
There
is.
she is.
Thank you.
So let me take a picture of her real quick. That's glorious.
Loves.
Oh yeah, I can see all of them in there.
Yep, see them?
I am not that great.
And we'll hand this around.
Okay.
So hand this frame around. I want everybody to see the eggs.
I think ours just too many bees. That was a too
And that's okay too. So when you're wearing your veil, don't do it if you're not veiled. Of
course.
But blow on the hives, blow on the frames. They don't like our breath. And they'll either fly straight at you to sting you, and that's why you want to wear a mask or a veil, or they'll just start spreading. It's like parting of the Red Seas. They'll move out of your way, and then you can see the cells.
Is the bee brush too aggressive in this situation?
Yeah, I don't think you need a bee brush. The only time I ever really use a bee brush is in the fall when I'm pulling honey supers, and then I brush the bees off and get them ready. Can you see those eggs?
Did you, on this first frame, did you have, it was just empty?
We haven't pulled that frame yet. So we always
No, but
start.
I'm saying when you set this hive up.
Oh, they're all empty. Every frame is just foundation, just the plastic foundation.
Yeah, okay, because I gave mine like some drawn comb.
If you had drawn comb, that's great
And
because
then-
that just speeds things up.
Yeah, gave
Yeah,
him a
be
new
careful. Make sure we don't drop the queen. Everybody saw eggs? Did you see? And that's what you're looking for. You want to make sure you see those eggs, and you're gonna. And we.
I got to see the eggs now that I got my glasses on.
You got it. Once you know what you're looking for, you never don't see it.
Larry, is that bee bread in there?
Yes, that is pollen and bee bread.
Tell me about bee bread.
It's just they mix pollen, honey, and bee saliva, and they make they actually kind of digest it. They break it down a little bit so that it's easier to feed to the baby bees.
Okay. So,
See, now we've got capped brood.
yep. Do you want me to pass this around?
Yes, please.
Okay. So there's larvae in here
Yep.
that's not capped, and there's capped brood.
Yep.
And I see. Well, this is a beautiful frame. You can see that from the eggs to the larva, like going straight from this corner
Yep.
across.
So that
you
tells-
can see the development.
Yep.
Of
So you
how,
can see which
day
ones.
she laid.
Yeah, when she laid. Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. That looks great.
Absolutely. That's what you're looking for.
And more bee bread on that side.
And on this side, all open larva, a little bit of capped. So that's all open larva. And then if you get down here, look at, there's eggs clear at the bottom of this frame. So this whole frame is going to be completely full of bees. Yeah, this is an amazing frame. She has laid up a storm.
Popped up one in the
Oh yeah, that's a drone cell. That's funny that there's just a single drone cell right there. Usually she'll make a hole on the bottom of the frame will be all drones. Yes.
The stuff that's a bit like brownish in the middle, that's
Yep.
all caps.
Yep.
That's honey or syrup. Did they cap syrup?
Here, this?
Yes.
No, that's brood.
Ooh, and all of this is brood.
This up here is pollen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is all brood, and up at the top is all pollen. So they don't have. There's no honey on this frame.
They didn't put our capping syrup really.
Yeah, no syrup, no. Yeah, this is all
brood.
all bees. That's
Which it should be.
It's amazing.
Because
yeah.
as we get closer, we
Yep.
put the queen here.
Yep,
So
yep.
she would have started laying
And
there
so
first.
the fact that she's already, where did we find her on the second to last frame here?
Yeah.
So that's literally the third to last because we pulled this one.
busy.
So she's been kicking. Yeah, she's doing great.
Hatched brood yet?
No hatch brood yet, but we've got.
I'm asking
well,
about
right
these
here.
open cells.
Yep, right here we've got hatch brood.
Yeah.
Yep.
See
Those
how
are
rough
open
it
cells
is?
that's
Yep.
hatched.
That's our first frame.
It's
that we
dark,
did.
so they've already hatched. Okay. Yes.
Okay, hold it still and let's see if we got one trying to hatch out. These guys over here have got about a 2-inch square hatching out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That means the queen was laying within 24 hours
That's
of
cool.
being installed. That's cool.
That is cool. Yeah, that's
How long does it take for them to hatch out of a cell?
21 days.
21.
No, I mean, like, is it like in an hour?
Yeah, that's
for them to
hatch
get
out.
out?
Oh no, they go
Oh,
fast.
in fact, here's one coming out right now, guys. We got one right here. You can see its little tentacles.
See?
She's-
It's just a few minutes and he's out.
Yeah, keep
but
on-
if you looked over here, Ted was pointing at it.
What do we
Right
got?
here. Look at here. See him? How fuzzy he is?
See how light
Brand new.
just popped out.
Just
Yep.
pop.
So this one is
And
getting,
all of these have hatched right here.
Yeah.
See the rough edge around the edge? That means it's hatched.
and all these light fuzzy ones, those are ones that have just recently emerged.
Seen a few of those.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's what you're looking for, and that's what you want to see. So right there, you can see another one chewing its way out. Can you see that? That one right there is chewing its way out. Yeah. You can see its little tentacle coming out. It's like, I'm coming. I'm on my way. So that's
Work to do.
So
Yeah.
this is like this afternoon. These are all.
I would bet today and tomorrow this whole side of this frame is going to be completely hatched out, and the queen will move back this way. They will polish these cells back up, and she will start laying back in them. Yep. So, and then if you look at this side, this is all bee bread at the bottom, and then eggs and larvae right in the center area. So she's been in here, and this is all nectar on this side. If you look, that's all eggs and larvae. You'll see from 3-day-old eggs up into about 5-day larvae up there. So can you see them? Yeah, it's all eggs in the center there.
So do we clear off? I noticed that for mine,
Yeah.
even though I get this really tight in here,
Yeah.
they build onto the feet.
Sometimes they will. So you'll see
I
this.
just clean it off?
Yep. So if you get any of this burr comb or bridge comb, Just use your hive tool, scrape that off, and that kind of trains the bees. Hey, not appropriate, and they start drawing it out the way they need to, and then you're in really good shape. And you notice there's no bees on this lid anymore. There wasn't a lot to start with, but they all hiked back into the hive.
I have another question. Sorry.
Go for it.
So the feeder is, to my eyes, maybe it's optical illusion, much thicker than one of the frames.
It is.
So when you put the frame in, do you squish them all in the middle, or do you
Yes.
pull them all
So
to the side?
when the feeder comes out, so when the feeder's in, you want them all tied up against this way.
Okay.
It's okay if you have a little bigger gap down here because they haven't drawn out yet. When you pull this feeder and you put that 8th frame in, then you want the bee space. So you're gonna squish them all tight as you can to one side, and then you're gonna from the other side push them back towards the center.
Okay.
So you want to make sure they're all tight because this is bee space. That's
Right.
3/8 of an inch. So you want that, and then when you put them in, you're gonna have about the equal gap on both sides.
Okay.
Is what
Okay.
you're looking for. Okay.
And how many frames should be drawn out before we put the second heap on?
So something like this, we've still got 2 pretty much empty frames, so we're about 5. And honestly, that third one where we saw the queen wasn't fully drawn, you want to have at least 6 full drawn out frames before you start thinking about putting a second box
So
on.
my hive is a 10 frame hive.
So
Should I
you
wait
want
until like
8.
eight? Okay.
Yep, you want about 8. Is
Look,
glorious.
look at how they're coming back up. See how they're starting to come up to the top? Then when you get ready to put your lid on, just smoke them a little bit and they'll go back down. You don't hurt anything.
Yep. You guys all saw the eggs. You all saw the drones. We only had one little bit of wonky comb that we took off. So if you see that in your hives, you want to make sure you get that wonky comb off so they don't make a mess in there. What else? What else you got? When you're putting the inner cover on, I always put it on at a little bit of an angle like this, and I like Jerry said, smoke the bees down. If there's any bees, you want to, once you got it like this, then you just slowly turn it, and that pushes them all out of the way without squishing any, and then you're in great shape. And then
the screen on the front of this?
that screen is also because we move them. So we plugged up the entrance last night, so the bees don't come out and they don't come out and sting us really because they get riled up. So we plug that up and we push this inner cover all the way back so it's blocking that top cover.
Right.
Or the telescopic, and we push it all the way
right
back
now
so
we
it's
wanna
blocking.
push this
Now it's going all the way forward. Yep. And I'll take this.
Let me see how much play you have in
noticed
that.